everyone. As always, it's me, Moose. Just checking in, wanted to give you a long-term review of Santa Cruz 5010. I bought this bike for myself in November of 2023 and have been riding it ever since. This bike intrigued me for a couple of reasons. There's two things that I had never really had. That is a 140 front suspension fork, and then the mullet setup, so smaller wheel in the back, 29er in the front. What intrigued me about that is it has a very playful aspect to it without adding a whole bunch of extra travel that I probably don't need. So long term, I've actually really fallen in love with this bike. It is exactly what I thought it was going to be, a bike that I can pedal, go do zen, no problem on the climbs, but really rally and pop off of stuff on the downhill. I don't feel like the suspension is just gobbling everything up. I'm still like having to move and kind of put the English through things as we go through it. Speaking of the suspension, the Pike with buttercups feels fantastic. The little small bumps compliance is almost unbelievable. The rear shock also feels really good, and of course the Santa Cruz VPP just handles really well. One of the things that I really like about the VPP is it actually moves slightly backwards as you roll through things. So in our chunky rocks here, if you first take the initial hit, you're not going to get that kind of stop that the bike's trying to pull you backwards as you hit that. The wheel moves out of the way and you just fly down the hills. The geometry's been fantastic. It's definitely trail geometry, which is great for the way that I like to ride. It gives me the angles that I need. And then the 27.5 with the 29er. I know there's mixed feelings on this. I had mixed feelings going into it, but I actually really like it. The 29er front tire rolls over everything that I've tried to put into it, while the 27.5 rear wheel just pops and moves, and I can throw it around so much easier than I can on a full suspension 29er. As far as durability, I've had zero issues with this bike. It is a high-end bike. You shouldn't be having too many issues with that, but literally no complaints whatsoever. Haven't had any maintenance issues or otherwise. The drivetrain, the transmission drivetrain is fantastic. I should probably touch on that a little bit. There are a lot of people that don't love the transmission because it is a little bit slower than the normal axis. For me personally, coming from a single speed background, I actually really enjoy it because I can go into something like I would on a single speed and hit the button when I'm really under pressure, and it just shifts so smoothly and I don't have to worry about snapping the chain. So that for me is actually a bonus. I don't mind the slower shifting. Again, coming from a single speed background, it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, the reserve wheels have been great. I9 hubs are awesome. Really don't have any complaints about this bike. The only thing that I would possibly change is I'm a pretty small dude. The 35mm clamp with the carbon bars is really stiff for me. It's been on my radar of something to change. I've got bars in my shed that I just need to do it. I'm just kind of lazy when it comes to doing bike maintenance. So I haven't. What I actually experienced with that is I get more hand fatigue because the bars are just so stiff that I'm not really taking advantage of the carbon and the flex that's built into those bars. So that is the one thing that I would change on this bike. But otherwise, been fantastic. The great thing about 5010 right now, we've only got a few left. This bike is going fast, but we've got them marked at 30% off. Jump on redrockbicycle.com and search for the 5010. We can ship these to your house, or if you're in St. George, swing by the shop, or in Hurricane and Cedar. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll try to respond to them. Thanks.